Good morning. Welcome to the Buddhist Temple of Toledo's autumn ancestor acknowledgement ceremony. Please be seated facing the teachers.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Today we're doing an ancestor acknowledgement ceremony. And, we get meetings. Did you know we have meetings at the temple? We did. We have lots of meetings. And at one of them we said, let's revisit how we're doing these ancestor acknowledgements. And one of the things that we noticed was that the tenor and the tone of this season is quite different from spring. And so we particularly acknowledge the ancestors at the end of the spring and the fall ongo periods as we enter the winter and summer training periods respectively. And so it occurred to us that, this is the more solemn moment. The spring is more jubilant. There's noisemakers, there's party hats, there's favors, cookies and stuff. And now, though, winter is coming. Autumn is losing its way. Winter is holding sway now. And it occurred to us that maybe the best way to acknowledge the ancestors would be to do it inside a period of Zazen. So what we'll do this time is we're going to, when I've concluded my introductory comments and Kensei has given us some logistical guidance, we'll begin a period of Zazen. And then ushers will come forth at the right time and guide you through a process. Now, the feeling and the tone of the process is that we want to acknowledge two different lineages. One, our Dharma and spiritual lineage, and this can include, obviously, those of the Buddhist lineage, but also whatever spiritual teachers or traditions that have been important and influential to you. Please be encouraged to include them in your feeling and in your observations today. And then also the lineage of our genetic ancestry, noting the fact that if not for the lineage of our genetics, we wouldn't have a body and we wouldn't be here. And so regardless of our current status of our relationship with our families, we want to acknowledge the long and the deep as well as the near ancestors that we have. And one of the features in the Buddhist tradition is this practice of circumambulation. It's a feature. You see it in the ancient texts all the way through the many centuries up to the present day. This essential devotional act of pilgrimage. It's a kind of a pilgrimage. It has to do with going on a journey that has a specific purpose and a character and a quality to it. Circumambulation shows up whenever in the ancient text someone was going to ask the Buddha a question. They would get up, they would ask for permission to inquire. If granted, then they would circumambulate the Buddha 3 times and then ask the question. And it's gone on and on from then. Perhaps you've seen folks do a pilgrimage to a large stupa that holds relics, and you'll see practitioners encircling the stupa. And it has many specific moments. We saw one last weekend where the Shuso, then about to confront Dharma combat for the first time, comes before the high seat and the guiding teachers and circumambulates 3 times. In our case, the way this is going to manifest is we're going to circumambulate the temple itself. And for those who do not know, I should point out the fact that at the back here, in the back to my left, is called the Buddha Ancestor Hall room, and that's a very important feature where your processional will conclude. And behind this wall here is where the temple cemetery will be at some point. And so really this building is surrounded by the ancestors, the ancient. And as some of us kick off and move on to whatever's after this, what remains behind will be there and continue practicing in that way in the temple cemetery. I can see a stupa back there in my mind, and perhaps some of us will be practicing together for a long time there. But the way the circumambulation will work is you will rise when you're asked to. There will be an usher that will be in charge of leading your row. We will maintain silence. We'll be inside a period of sitting. So if you haven't been tapped, then please remain seated. And then you'll go out where you came in, the main doors, put your shoes on. There, some clergy will be waiting to give you incense. If you're comfortable with wielding incense, please do so. If you have medical or other reasons why you don't want to do that, that's entirely fine. You can make an imaginative incense, and that'll work just as well. And then you'll go around this building 3 times. And as you do this, there are certain practices that can be undertaken. One is to simply wish that all the ancestors be at ease and be at peace. Another is to, if certain influences and guides and mentors in your life or family members have passed away, it's always a good thing to call them to mind. You might notice some ancestors coming to your mind as you walk around, and encourage that. Let them go for a walk with you. Let them experience the walk through you, if you like. It's always good, I think, to hold the deceased in reverence as possible. May the good that they did, continue to flourish and grow. May all the mistakes they made be forgiven. May they be at ease, may they be at peace. Okay, something along this line makes sense. It's also possible to simply just be in the moment of the walking with no particular narration or ideation required. Simply know, though, that you are walking with and as the ancestors. For one day, all of us will be ancestors, hopefully, to others who come after us. And so enjoy the walk and be mindful of what comes to you as you engage in it. When you've done the 3 circumambulations, there'll be a place at the cemetery here where you can give your stick of incense to a priest that will offer it for you, and then you can come back in and conclude at the ancestor hall. I ring the bell, and there'll be clergy there to help guide you through the process. And then simply come back into this space and resume your period of zazen. When all of us has had the time to do this silent practice together, we'll make some closing bodhisattva vows, and we'll hear the evening gatha as a final reminder before we move into the meal. Kensei, are there any logistics other than I've said that should be?
Only to add that this will be all in the container of the zazen, and it could be a longer period of zazen than some are used to sitting, so feel free to adjust your position as needed. If you're not going to circumambulate for health or medical or whatever reason, you're welcome to stay in zazen and just adjust your posture as you need to. I think there's some kids here, and that's always very happy to see. Because of the zazen being prolonged, there is a room set up in the Tara Hall, a space for kids. Parents and kids are welcome to go there and enjoy some snacks and activities together. A note for folks who are streaming the service, the AV will be interrupted at some point to allow for us to stream some of the circumambulation stream. So if it interrupts, it will be back. And Last, I hope everybody can enjoy the ceremony in whatever way they do and stay in your practice. And yeah, I appreciate this day, this chance to honor the ancestors. So prepare for Zazen.
Please turn and face the center.